The past day has been really bad for the team behind Relooted. They have been getting wrecked on social media, and to top all of that off, their game isn't even selling after the months of shilling that the Access Media did. And well, apparently the best they can do is 57 modern audience members. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I hate myself apparently because I actually put 5 hours worth of time into Relooted, and it is as bad as you would expect. It actually runs pretty smoothly, but the narratives they try to push within this game and the way they try to present everything they're saying as facts, even if they're questionable facts, is definitely something that gets on your nerves. Most of the characters are really annoying or just straight up bland or cringe. And well, it's memorable for all of the wrong reasons. And even though this is on Game Pass, they still need individual copies to sell. They still need people to go to the Epic Games Store and also Steam in order to make money off of this experience. And clearly, that is not happening because as of right now, the all time peak was still yesterday on release day with a whopping 57 players, which is terrible. And it has gone up a little bit today to 48, but it had tanked all the way down to 13 people last night. I don't know exactly how many developers worked on this game, but I do really wonder how many of them are padding these figures. And it's so funny because, well, if having your 20 developers potentially pad the numbers and this is still the best you can get, it is abysmal. And they've gotten a lot of coverage. I've been covering this. I know several other people on YouTube have covered it. Even people on Twitch like Asmongold have shown it off. You would think that some people would be interested from either our audiences or the over 600,000 views worth of people that this game got just off of one single IGN post weeks ago, but this hasn't happened. It is a game that nobody wants. It is really just propaganda. And ultimately, while I do think that the gameplay offers something that's not half bad, unfortunately, everything else being so bad or even mediocre just really kills any sort of positivity surrounding this experience. And to top all of this off, we just had found out that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on this game in at least some capacity because Chris Kindred, formerly of Sweet Baby Inc., did some early design consulting on Relooted, and this person did not leave Sweet Baby Inc. until a couple of months ago, meaning SBI had put Chris Kindred on this experience. And they also say that they're so glad to see that it's finding its players. Well, yeah, I'm so happy for them too, guys. They found a whopping 57 freaking supporters. I know you must be seething over the fact that this team is winning, but it's just hilarious to see this happen time and time again because we do constantly try to tell companies what we do and do not like in our entertainment, and they constantly do not listen. Maybe if these studios actually, I don't know, took our criticism to heart and didn't just instantly label us critics and racists and bigots, and they actually tried to see where we were coming from, they might make a few extra dollars. Now, I personally played this off of Game Pass. I did not spend any money on this, so they probably got, I don't know, 2 cents from my little download, but they need all the cents they can get, that's for sure. Because this is also not a $50 or $60 game, it is $15. So even if they had, let's say, 5,000 people buy this, it would not be making a lot of money. I don't know where they're getting their funds from in order to pay all of the developers that are on their team. Seems really freaking suspicious, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a few weeks we find out that, oh, they got some sort of taxpayer money to actually make this piece of propaganda. So looking at some of the posts that have been made about this experience over the past day, people are just pointing and laughing and really being ruthless. All 25 of them, so glad. Be former SBI employee, consult on creating an experience quote unquote authentic to a culture. It's literally a game about black people stealing stuff. The game bombs anyway. good job. Every game that Sweet Baby Inc. touches turns to trash or faces a major controversy. Maybe one day these studios will learn, but at this point it seems like they are intentionally hiring Sweet Baby Inc. to lose money. Define design consulting exactly. Impressive, very nice. Less players than a McDonald's during the lunchtime rush? That's crazy. What players? There are currently 16. All 57 of them. I think that this is so freaking hilarious that these Sweet Baby and consultants will sit here and boast and say, oh, they found their player base. Who? What players? There's nobody even trying to play this game. Minimal Effort said apparently Relooted just launched over on Blue Sky. The official account got almost 1K likes in 5 hours. Meanwhile, Steam paints a different picture. These people are the actual tourists. Never let them tell you otherwise. And it is so freaking true. These people do not play video games. They do not like video games. They do not care about video games, and they will still try to infiltrate our space and then act like they've been here all along, even though they haven't been. They targeted the video game industry, thinking they could make a quick buck off of it and push a bunch of activism, that they could gain power very quickly. And while some of them have gained power, people constantly call them out, nobody respects them, and they make themselves look like clowns all the freaking time. And Relooted, we all knew, was probably going to fail. It would have been a very strange situation if it did succeed and it did insane numbers, but I think they're probably going to come out and lie about figures relatively soon. Because this did launch on Game Pass day one, there are bound to be people that download it, so I think they're going to come out and say, oh, 100,000 people have played our game or something like that, even though some of those figures would be from Game Pass, but they could just lie about it because it's not like we'll ever get the official download numbers via GP. It's just going to be their word with no evidence to back it up. This is such obvious botting. Relooted has 35 players, but this post has 12 million views and 20K likes. And yeah, it is the Epic Games Store post from last year about this title. Again, you would think that, oh, those people would have lined up to play this game. They would have wishlisted it, and it's only 15 bucks. So it's a good price for a game, but yeah, these people don't actually want to play games. They just want to complain about how, ooh, gaming isn't diverse enough, even though it always has been, always will be, and they just want to make money off of this space. This is honestly just a pathetic situation all around, that they thought that this game was going to be good in the first place, that they say they made this title to be stunning and brave and tell different African stories, yet at the same time, they are depicting Black people as being thieves. And interestingly enough, in the game, the main character you play as is initially reluctant to this idea, but then she caves in like 2 minutes later. So it could have maybe been a little bit based if she was like, no, we can't do this, but of course, that's not the situation because they need you to play as this character, and it's just a wild, wild experience all around. And if you're curious about the game, I did stream it. That stream will be linked down below, but this is just a disaster all around, and Sweet Baby Inc. consultants worked on this experience. You've got their player counts not even topping 100 on Steam, and everybody on the internet seems to be roasting them. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.